Hey guys, Rich from Over the Fender Garage. Well, I am going to jump into doing the foot boxes in the truck. At the point now where there's just a lot of little stuff to start pulling together. Been pulling some of it together, and had to take this door off. So I had to take the fender off, so I had to take the wheel well out. So I figured I might as well do this foot box while I've got everything apart. Get this one knocked out, and then I can get the other one. But kind of got the idea of what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut somewhere in around right here. If I come in here and cut like right around here, just go right below the support for pedals, cut that piece, and then this piece here, kind of cut this off somewhere around here. That's what I'm seeing. And then right below the old seam for the floor, come through here. And then probably, if I can get, for my first cut, I'll go like right here. So I can push this back this way some. So I should be able to take this piece here and straighten it out, and that'll give me about 2 inches of down on the foot box. And then this piece here, I should be able to take this little piece right here and just bend that down, and that'll give me an inch and a half on that one of the pieces. And then all I gotta do is fill in this area. But the one thing I have to do here is I have to take this brace out of here. So I'm going to drill out all the spot welds on it. It's a good thing it's a two-piece, so we get these spot welds out of it. I want to put it back on because it should be there. And the inner fender well attaches to it to give the front end more strength. So what I'll do is I'll yank this out of here. See, there's a good 2 inches of drop on that. Take a tape measure and stick it in there. You got 2 inches when it gets down to the bracket. So if you get in there, you go in through here, an angle like that. It's going to give me 2 inches more running across that. What I'll do is I'll slice this bracket in half, take the upper piece, weld it on down here, so my bolt hole's there, and then I can weld this back on. It'll all be there, just be a little thinner. That's my game plan, at least for right now. And then this piece here, I'll change it to a 16 gauge piece in here, so it'll spread out any weight. Be a little stronger than the 18 gauge that's on here. So that's my game plan for that. Figured I might as well tackle it since I had to take the door off, do some adjustments on it, and I have to finish welding it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. that foot box trimmed out of there. And there it is. I can sit with my legs stretched out. Not a problem now. Really not that difficult to do. That's what I did. So I took and just bent that one piece of floor straight. I have to add another inch to it. And now I get to my foot where it's comfortable, but my legs are stretched straight out now. Just that little bit. And this top piece right here, I went and just bent that out a little bit. Cut the support right there for the steering column down there at the bottom. Just stitch that back together. But I bent that down a little bit so it was a little straighter. Now it's very, very comfortable. Won't be any problem with legroom now. Not really too difficult to do. So now, next little thing I've got to do here is I have to take this bracket and trim it down so it can go back on here. So the bracket now has moved out. About an inch and a half further out now. So it's kind of coming just like I thought it would. So I'll take this now and I'll cut this piece out the back. I'll get it to fit back up in here. And then I'll weld this top piece I'm going to cut off back onto it. And this should all go back together then. And then I can put the piece of floor back in. So, cut that piece off there, get it to fit back in, and then it all goes back together. So there's my rough end of my floor. The new piece that I put in here. And it is moved forward. The bend was right here. I know you won't be able to see it, but the bend is right here. Moved it forward 3 inches. And then up here, I've got 1 inch. It's about 1.25 inches at the top. It's 1 inch at the bottom. So now, I'll take and I'll get this fit back in there. I'll weld this back on to its bracket. So I have something to screw to pull this one down tight, and then finish fitting this one in here. And I will have very comfortable. Right now, it was sitting on 2x4s for standing up. I can sit in it now, just like this, and my legs are straight out, and that's with it sitting on the floor. not even on the 2x4s. So that's great. Makes it very comfortable. You're sitting in here decent. So you can have the seat sitting on the floor. You can have the seat lifted up. I'm going to have it lifted up a little bit. Sitting up like the height of the 2x4, 3.5 inches. But that's nice. That was well worth the extra little time I just put into it. Makes that very, very comfortable. So all I got to do now is finish fitting it in there and do my gas pedal area here. Now you'll feel like you're normal. You don't have your legs straight up, your foot straight up trying to drive it. A little bit of adjustment on the pedals. I think the brake pedals will be fine. The clutch pedal might need a little work, but I think everything else will be fine. So now finish fitting this thing in here and I can get it burned in.
last little part of finishing up the driver's side. Right now I'm putting in the
throttle pedal. It is a fly-by-wire unit. So we got the one bolt welded to the firewall that holds that edge, and on the other side it's got to step up. So what I did here is I have some pieces from an old suspension kit, little mock-up pucks that come with it. I cut this in half to mount on here. And what I'll do is I'll take this puck here, I'll weld the bolt to this, and then weld the puck to the firewall. So this way, now I've got adjustment. I can take the throttle pedal. If it's too far in, I'll be able to move it out and in, depending on how far, it makes it comfortable. Or if I want to tilt it up or down or whatever, I'll have that option because of the length of the bolt. It's about 1.25 inch bolt. So with that on there, I'll just be able to put some washers behind it or whatnot and be able to have it adjustable. And then this takes up the little gap from the setback on the throttle pedal. So that'll work out really nice. These are quarter-inch bolts. So get those pucks put on there, and throttle pedal will be done. The driver's side door had a big gap on the back side because you'll see right in there when they built the truck at the factory, the hinge is forward and the bolt hole won't go back any further. There's no adjustment for that. So I have to take and open this hole up a tiny bit on all three, and that way it'll give me my little bit to move the door back. This one here moves back just fine. You see by my mark right here, but I've stepped it back as far as it had to go. But this one is as far back as it'll go. It will not go any further. So I just got to take a bit here and grind a little bit off that so I can slide the door back to get this gap closer. So that'll fix that up. So I got to open that up a little bit. All right, now we got the door back on, the driver's side. It's all finished up. I got a little bit of the grinding started here. And what I did for the hinge, you can see I oblonged the hole a little bit more this direction so I could get the door to come back and make this gap tighter like it is on the passenger side. And now I've got that part done. I got the door back on and I've got it to fit. I'm looking for my biggest gap, which is right there. I want to run that gap to the rest away on everything. Now I've already checked. So my body line's good there. My body line's good there. So the door is in there good. I need to put the front sheet metal on. I have not done that yet. I wanted to show you that. But the foot box in here is all done. throttle pedal area. Got the throttle pedal. Throttle pedal all fit on there. It's nice, and now it's adjustable. So if you want it up higher or down lower, you can easily adjust it. If you want to move it this way, you can move it out. We'll get this when we do the mock-up of the interior. You see more how that works. But I got the steering column and all that, so I can finish this up. But I'm gonna put the sheet metal back on. I'm gonna get all the sheet metal put back on this side, and then I'll do that jam on that door, the drip edge, get that finished up, and then jump over to the other side, do the foot box on the other side, and that all done. I'll take that door off. I still gotta weld the bottom of it. I'll get that done. Yeah. Basically, other than that, driver's side will be almost done. I think, in fact, it should be done after this. So it's getting close. But I'm hanging this sheet metal back on so I can get that drip edge finished up. I want to thank all my subscribers, and if you just found my channel and you like what you see, hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks. All right, now we got the front fender back on. You see, it's pretty good. Now what I'll do is start working this seam on this door. The way I do it is I take one of these roll locks and I just run it up through here and get it to where it's level with that roll locks on the smaller pad, and they work out really nice. You just gotta take your time and slowly work yourself in there. You can use a cutting wheel. I've done it with cutting wheels too, but they're extremely fast. And if you get a catch and it goes zing, then you gotta clean that up. So I use these most of the time when I'm doing them. Like this right here. This is perfect already. Fits in there nice, it's pretty level. So that one basically is done almost all the way up to right there, and it gets tight. And you just open the door up a little bit. Work something like this edge first here, so you can open and close the door a little bit, but you just stick it in there and work it until the disc will spin with the door shut. Takes a little time, but it does work out really nice. there it is, all reassembled. Got the wheel well back inside. You have a little spot right here where it touches the inner wheel well. Other than that, fits real good. You see it right there. You see I still got room between the new floorboard area and the wheel well. I'm going to take a tape measure here. This is how much more area I've got moving that forward. Right up against the new seam there. And the bump is 23 3/4 from there to there. Now over here, where I have not done yet, if I put it in the same spot, and I come over here, it is 20.5. That's how much more space I created for legroom. Extremely nice, extremely comfortable now. So the seat can be basically be mounted anywhere I want to, up or down. It ain't gonna matter. If I decide to take it to the track or something and they require a roll bar with a shoulder belt, I'll be able to put one here. If that's too low, you can cut this spot out here, put it there. Would not interfere with the seats at all. Be very, very comfortable. But the other thing is, when you're working on one of these older C10s and your door doesn't close like this, see how it springs? And you're trying to figure out why they're springing, is because this bolt hits right there. That bolt. This bolt will hit too when it's in. But that bolt will hit that part of the hinge. Same down here. Got to grind that back to alleviate that problem. And then it will stop bucking open like that. You hear the little... That's because it's pushing up against that piece of the screw. And it's kind of twisting the door a little bit as it's doing it. But that's just grind that out a little bit, give it a little more space for the head, and the problem goes away. But the gap itself is all done. All ended up really, really nice. It's got minor finishing to do, but when I do body work, I'll do that part. But the main part of the metal work on it is done. So basically the driver's side now is done. I only have to put a lip underneath this to mount the bumper when I make the bumper. But now I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to do the passenger side. Get that moved out. So the passenger's got leg room too. No reason to just do one side. So I'll do this one next. And take the door off and finish it. And then this side will be all done. Basically the front end of the truck will be finished with all the metal work. So that's where I'm going now. I'm going to take all that apart and do this side. and there it is. The finished extended foot boxes, both sides. Both sides are at 23 3/4 now. So I've made a good 3 inches of legroom on both sides. So now basically everything is finished with sheet metal from the cab forward. You know, there's still stuff like the transmission tunnel, but that can't be done until I get the engine mounts and the trans mount made. So we'll get those done. The engine will be set in there. I can start on the exhaust system. I can start finishing up my front bumper. But the next thing I want to do probably is jump on the rear suspension, since I've got that now. We'll start getting that set in there and just keep finishing up pieces here. Might do some electrical too. It's getting to that point, so I can put my evaporator box inside. I'll be able to find a place to put the computer. Just put the steering column in. So it's getting on to doing the finish work now. But we'll jump on the rear suspension next. We'll get that started and just start finishing stuff up.